Entering the Light Fantastic, a channeled message from beyond the veil. The purpose of this series is to receive channeled messages through my dear friend, medium, channel, and partner in crime, Marty. And we received messages from my son on the other side. My son, Robbie, crossed in 2010, and he asked to do this series to bring in messages of hope and healing. So without further ado, oh, and I do apologize. I was on vacation, so we took a little hiatus, but now we're back. So without further discussion on my part, I'm going to bring in my friend, Marty McCrae. Hi, Marty.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome back. I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too. It's nice to be back. Nice to be back at it.
Yep. Now, in our previous sessions, I have explained to the audience, or we have explained to the audience how channeling works. So we're going to skip over that part now. If they want to know, they can go back to the other sessions and review that. But I want to get into this right away so we can have more time with Robbie.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I'm going to ask you if you're ready to go into trance. I'll give you some time, and then I'm sure Robbie will let me know when he's there and ready to get going.
Okay.
Okay, take your time.
Okay.
Are you there, Robbie?
Yeah.
Yep. How are you today, honey?
Hey, good. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. I've missed our sessions, but I'm glad that we're doing this again.
Yeah. It's weird.
I know, we're still getting used to it. But now, 2 weeks ago when we did this, you had talked a lot about the Akashic Records and reviewing lives and all that. That's where we kind of left it. Now, is there something in particular that you want to talk about in this channeled session before I ask questions?
No, not really. Yeah, I just want to say hi to Jack.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jacqueline is his sister.
Uh-huh. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll mean a lot to her. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
well,
okay. What do we want to talk about?
do we want to talk about past lives, reincarnation?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Okay. So I believe in reincarnation. I believe that we come back many, many times. The purpose is to advance our soul and to help others advance theirs while we are incarnated on this earth. Am I on the right track with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So that's one thing you can do when you cross over. You can go to the library and you can check out all of your past lives. I mean, you don't have to check out all of them, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. It's kind of a trip. I mean, but the other thing is this: when you're here, you remember it. It's all right there. So that's been really interesting for me. What I think is really cool is that it's kind of like this. It's like when you first cross over, you get to have all that knowledge, right? So you've got all this new knowledge. It's not new, it's old. It's like you are coming through and you're like, we already talked about all the stuff that happens when you pass and yada, yada. So this is, the new knowledge that you have. It's the new old knowledge. You're sort of remembering what happened, and what's really specific about it, what's really cool about it, is that you're you can go in and you have this new emotional wisdom that you just don't have on Earth. Because when we're on Earth, we're only seeing like one part of it, like one um,
One life
well,
at a
you're
time.
seeing, hey, you're seeing what's relevant in this lifetime.
Right.
When you're a human and you're in your human body, you're seeing only the things that are absolutely necessary for you to be, uh, you know,
To be
in
Robbie
this lifetime.
Myers.
Sorry?
To be Robbie Myers at this time, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So then when I came over, I'm like, hey, I want to find out what is, I had all this new knowledge of these past lives. So I thought, oh, okay, that one looks really cool. That one looks really interesting. So I'm going to go look into that one per se. And I'm not going to talk about it because I'm not supposed to talk about it. That's
Oh,
private. So, haha, no.
that was a tease.
No, but what I can say is when you get this new knowledge, this new old knowledge, right, that you're reacquainting yourself with yourself, your truest self, your biggest, best self, your higher self, right? That's what everyone's calling it, your higher self. So it's all being reintegrated into you. And so, you know what, Mom, it's kind of cool. It's really cool because it's like it kind of made me emotional, to be honest. It made me really like, oh, I get why in that life as Rob Myers, I get why that guy did such and such, in that body in that way.
Hmm.
It's like it all makes sense. It's almost like you're getting to see behind the curtain, right?
Right.
Like, um, yeah, yeah, you're seeing what was relevant. Why was it that I had to have that one experience? Why was it that, I had a conflict with that one person? Or why was it that, you know, so and so did such and such and it really hurt my feelings or got really pissed off or sorry, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. It's like,
So you kind of get to see the bigger picture and how we all
yeah,
interact for the purpose of helping each other.
yep, yeah, yep, that's exactly, yep. Very
So
good,
you
Mom.
you talk about, Robbie, when you got to the other side, you got new knowledge. It wasn't really new. You were just allowed then to have access to it again because that knowledge is blocked while we're here, correct?
Yes, yes.
And is
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes people get, um, deja vu.
yes,
That whole thing. Hey, that's real. That's a real thing. Who knew? I mean, I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like when you get those little, uh, they're almost like points of light where
uh,
you can. Oh, oh yeah, that makes sense to me. Like that.
like I've seen that before. I've been there before,
Yeah.
but that's in this lifetime. So does that mean we are seeing? Because what I've heard is we kind of plan our life before we incarnate and are shown some highlights of what our life is going to be. So are the deja vu moments remembering those highlights that we saw in what they call life between life?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That's yeah, yeah, you're on the right track. It's like mm,
Signposts?
yeah. No, that's a good way to call it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you also see, now you're reviewing this as my son, Robbie Myers. So in all your past lives, you've been other people, correct?
Yes.
Are they walking around there with you too? Or is everything
No.
incorporated up to Robbie Myers now?
Yeah. No, that's my yeah, everything's integrated. Hey, that's a really good question.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, yeah, everything is integrated. It's it's a hard concept to explain, but it's all in my soul. All those past lives are just they're remembered and know that guy, when I, say for example, I was a Chinese fisherman, back in the 1300s. Um, I wasn't, but I'm just making up some stuff. If say for example, that guy's not walking around here still. But
You,
you know what's kind of cool is you can, virtual reality.
uh-huh.
Wow, you asked a really good question because that opens up this whole thing of like what you can do at the Akashic Records, that hall. You can go back and interact just as you said. You can go talk to the Chinese fisherman, who was really my past life and it's really an aspect of me,
Yeah.
but I could do virtual reality just like that and talk
Wow.
with that guy. But I rather, to me, that feels a little confusing. Like, wait, what? You're me, I'm you. I mean, like, this is kind of weird and confusing. So it feels like, yeah, I did it once or twice, and I don't want to really do that anymore because it's too kind of freaky. It's freaky.
Huh. So do you know, um, without visiting people, then you know who you've been in the past through the Akashic Records?
Yes. Well, it's through both. It's through, I just kind of came back and knew,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then at the Akashic Records, I could then go and research. And then you could take it that one step further and do the virtual reality thing if you wanted to and talk to the memory, the echo of that when I was that person. But again, I tried that two times, and it was just too strange, too odd. It,
So
it
do you know how many times you've incarnated then on the earth? Obviously you do if you've got all that wisdom.
lots.
Like thousands?
No,
No.
some people, yeah, but me, 249. I can tell you that
249 times?
I counted.
Wow. That's interesting. 249. Can you tell me the span of years? How far back? I don't want to get you in trouble, but I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah, no. Back to the beginning. I mean, I've been part of lots of different centuries.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Um,
I could tell you that you and I knew each other before, Mom. Yeah.
that was my next question.
Ah ha ha.
Aha, you're reading my mind, son. Don't do that. So, is it true then that we go through these incarnations with what we call a soul family or a group of souls all the time playing different roles? Like one time I could have been your brother, you could have been my father, you
Yep.
know, things like that.
Yep. Exactly. It's exactly true. And you know what? You don't This is interesting. You don't really get to choose. I mean, you kind of do. And without going into it too much, I just was thinking, oh, I like to be a dude, okay? I don't really like, I mean, no offense, but I just, I prefer being in a male body. That's
Mhm.
sort of my thing. But I didn't always get to choose. There's
Oh,
some lessons that you can only learn by experiencing it from like the opposite point of view.
sure, that makes a lot of sense. Absolutely, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about then animals? Do animals also reincarnate?
Yeah. But they don't, animals are really special, Mom. I know you know this. I mean, we're an animal loving family. Um, but really, really special, and they have a lot more choices.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
they do.
interesting.
They have a lot more choices, and they're allowed to do more. Isn't that funny? But I think because it's a hardship, no doubt, to come in as an animal, any type of animal in this world. It's a struggle and a hardship on its own.
Hmm.
That's something I didn't really know. I didn't really get until I got over here. Like, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Very interesting. Um, okay, so if you're able to go in the Akashic Records, you've told me many times there's no such thing as time over there. Past, present, and future are all rolled into one. That's one of the
Yep.
reasons you can go back and talk to your past selves. Can you also go forward and talk to your future self?
I haven't tried to. I don't think so. I don't know. Good question.
Okay. Do you know?
I didn't really even think about that. I guess I hadn't even thought about that.
Well, I asked that question because at what point do you start to know that you're going to reincarnate again?
It's up to every individual soul. It's up to it's just it's kind of complicated. I mean, it's not complicated, right? Everything over here is super easy and simple. But to explain it back is like I don't know if I have the words.
Yeah,
Um,
I know we're
it's
not limited.
it's because of the whole time construct. It's difficult. It's no, it feels like now that you asked that, because once you asked me that, I instantly went back and asked, hey, can I go like the future? And you really you can, but you can't really do anything with it. You can't. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to communicate with your future self. That's not right. That's like, what? I mean, that's like a time warp. That's like, no, that would screw things up. That would ruin future lessons. That's what I've just been told.
Can
That
you
would screw
go,
things up.
can you go forward to see my life from that perspective though?
Yeah.
Do you know what's gonna happen to me, say, in a month or a year or
No, no, I mean, here's the thing. You have like a general outline of, and then at this point, you have like exit points. You go along in your life, and they've made it so that, hey, if anyone gets too tired, right, or weary of this life, and they just, I need to get out. And it's funny because it may not even be a conscious thought. It just may be that your higher self or your soul, maybe you're needed back on the other side. There's That's a really good question, because here's the thing, Mom. It's like it's almost like you always leave a piece of yourself over there. You
right?
leave your higher self there. That's like the highest piece of your soul is there, the
Uh-huh.
one that knows everything. And yeah, so that knows the master plan, that knows where we're going. And so if you need, there's this general outline, and if you need to get back to escape points, if you need, I just can't take this anymore, or they need me back there, then you can go. You have general exit points that are approved in advance,
Okay.
but you wouldn't be conscious of them. Like I wasn't conscious of them when I was a human.
Right.
No way. But
But I
yeah,
was told that you had exit points and you weren't going to live past 30. You didn't know that at the time, but your soul knew it.
that's kind of creepy. Oh, just say it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not supposed to know too much. I don't know. I feel like that's a coincidence, but I no, I guess you're probably right. I have to look into that. Here's the thing. It's like we want so much to know the future when you're in it. I remember feeling like, oh, I wonder how I'm going to be when I grow up,
Sure.
from the human lifetime. You know, we want so much to know that, but you're not supposed to. You wreck the surprise. That's as simple as I can put it.
Sure. And
And
it's
you're,
all a part of the lesson. It's like getting the answers to the test, right?
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm just above cheating once in a while, but I don't know. I'm just saying you're really not supposed to, because then you kind of don't get the full benefit of, yeah, the
Okay.
soul lesson that you were meant to have.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, don't try to look too far into the future on things, because guess what? You can't control it anyway.
Yes.
So,
Well, and it
yeah.
can change from free will anyway, right?
Yep.
I mean,
There's always free will. So, to
right.
me, I don't listen to psychics who say, "Oh, yes, I see this or that happening." I mean, it's not cool. It's like not cool.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me go back to you mentioned your higher self.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are now on the other side, and I'm talking to you as Robbie Meyer's personality.
Yep.
You have mentioned your higher self almost as if it's another being. Are
Yeah.
you incorporated with your higher self now? Or when I talk to you as Robbie Myers, have you separated yourself from your higher self? I don't know how that works.
Good question.
Have you met your higher self? Have you
Yep.
talked and been with?
So, what I can say, I feel like there's better people that could answer that question in a better way. But for me, um, I came over, and yes, yeah, it was like looking in a mirror, but I'm reabsorbed into that guy, or he's reabsorbed into me, or however it works. It was almost like, oh, hey, it's you, and then meld.
Mm,
We're we're the same right now. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
But since there is no time, that guy, higher self guy, gets to do different things. But I wouldn't really know. I
Wow.
can go get involved if I need to, but I don't think that's appropriate. I'm just one aspect. It's pretty tricky.
Wow. It's really tricky.
Great question.
Well, thank you.
Mhm.
Um, so you're over there and I'm talking to you, and I get the impression you're kind of by yourself right now. But there's a lot going on and a lot happening around you, obviously.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just people's souls. I'm assuming that you have access to your guides and to angels and to higher beings.
Yeah.
Um, would there ever be a time when someone would want to come with you and talk to you during one of these sessions?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, yes.
Okay.
There's people here now that are listening on this side, because this is apparently, there are a lot of people doing this right now all over the world. There's
Yes.
people doing this, Mom. There's lots, but not as many as, I mean, look, it's weird. It's just weird, but it's cool too, right? It's necessary, because I feel like there's this huge, the earth is in danger, okay? So I think it's going to be fine. I mean, that's the feeling I get. It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Relax. But at the same time, we're going through some really, the weather changes, and there's a lot of things that people over here are concerned about. The beings, how about that? The
Okay.
beings over here are really concerned about a lot of things, and they want to communicate to you guys back on Earth how,
To help us.
yeah, the importance of knowing that, hey, guess what? Really, your little life there on Earth, I mean, it's really important, don't get me wrong. But once you get back over, you go, oh, okay, I really am part of something bigger. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it so I could say it one way, like it makes it seem like, oh, one human life isn't really very important. But it is. I mean, each person brings their own piece to the puzzle. And so it's just really important. That's what they would like to communicate. Mom, there's like a room full of people over here watching this happen. It's like a big event.
Do they, and that's really interesting. Do
Yeah.
they ask you to talk about certain things or bring
No,
messages?
nope,
No.
no, but maybe we'll get there. But
Okay.
for now, they just wanted me to, reconnect, because that's important. That's part of our journey together.
Okay. Boy, it's been an interesting, thought-provoking session, my son. Pretty deep. So when you're not in the Akashic Records or talking to us, can you tell us some of the things that you do?
Well, I just got done playing ball with, uh, oh yeah, with dogs. I've got a whole dog crew over here, a lot of dogs. I've
Our
got,
dog?
what?
Our dogs? My
Yeah,
dogs?
yeah.
Oh,
You said not to talk about anything personal, but that's one thing that I do. That
it's
is,
funny because before these sessions, just for the audience, I tell my son, please do not bring up anything personal. So he's giving me a hard time about that.
eh, just saying. Yeah,
So what
that's,
else have you do? What else are you doing besides playing ball with our
I
dog?
surf. I mean, I'm surf all the time because
Uh-huh.
you can just go. And then of course I went on your trip. I was there. I went on the trip with you.
I
And
appreciate that.
I won't bring up anything personal, but you know, you know what I'm talking about.
And
Just
I'm
saying. So,
grateful. I was grateful for your company. And we're not going to go
right?
there, so stop.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
And
Anyway,
but
uh,
what about Robbie? Now, what you're telling me is kind of all entertainment things and fun things. But what about your work over there? Your
oh, okay. You don't have to work if you don't want to. There's a lot of people that are just doing crap like that. I mean, surfing and hanging out. And don't get me wrong. I mean, I do a lot of that. Work, I mean, this is it. This is part of it.
uh-huh.
And, you know, I can tell you, I had my eyes opened in the justice system
Mm-hmm.
uh, of the United States when I was this last life. And that was something that I just hadn't considered a lot before. And it really hit me. It hit me hard about there's a whole different, well, I can't say that. I've had an aspect of me that's been a prisoner, let's just put it that way, in a past life.
Okay.
That's, I'm free to say that. And so I understand what it feels like to be a prisoner. And now there's a whole team over here that's working on the United States justice system, but not only the United States justice system, the entire world's justice system is going through an overhaul right now.
Wow.
And that I can say. I mean, that's just it's happening. It's going to happen. If things continue as they are, there's a whole team of us over here that are working on bringing fairness, a lot more compassion, a lot more heart, kindness to the justice system.
And for those of you that didn't know, Robbie was a prosecutor for the last 2 years of his life. So justice and standing up for victims was very important to him in this lifetime.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting that that's part of your job, or you're continuing on with that even after you crossed back.
Well, I think that was, I know. I know that was part of, I needed to add on a layer of experiencing it from that point of view, because I had been a prisoner a few lifetimes before that. And I know what it's like, and in my heart and soul, I knew that and I felt that. And yeah, and not only this is for both sides. This is for criminals and for the victims of crime. That our humanity is going to be evolving into much more of a
Like a compassionate kind of.
Yeah, where those two are not criminal victim. We're humans. All of us are humans, and we all make mistakes. It's just, to what degree. And it all catches up with you. They're all soul lessons. So, no one gets away with anything. Let's put it that way. There is justice in the world, and it's a fair and good and right justice, and souls get what they deserve, either in the human lifetime or in the other lifetime. It's much bigger than what people understand. Let's put it that way.
You said you get what they deserve on the other side, but you're not talking about heaven and hell here.
No.
You're talking about healing and work and soul growth, and
your soul gets what it deserves to learn, and everyone deserves to learn. Okay. Everyone has the opportunity to learn from their mistakes, and when you come over, you may go to specific classes that deal in those mistakes.
So people talk about karma a little bit. So if you haven't learned the lesson in this incarnation that your soul was supposed to learn, are you going to then repeat it in another life, in another way? Or is there a way to work on it on your side?
Both. Yeah, both. It's just the speed, what do you want? Do you want, it takes longer if you're going to stay here, right? It takes longer to learn a soul lesson.
Okay.
Because everything's great. I mean, everything's wonderful here. It's all kindness and love, and there just isn't negativity. It's sort of the ideal version of, it's heaven, right? It's really heaven.
Right.
And
so this is like the advanced class down here for soul growth is what.
Yeah, it's the
don't say that.
It's the crappy boarding school. Yeah. It's hard. It's hardcore. Yeah.
Life is hard, but it's so rewarding too. I mean, you've talked about this earlier, you miss the physicalness of this world, and so it's very special. Even though it's very hard here, it's very special to be alive, and everyone is gifted this time on earth. It's special to be here.
Yeah, for sure. It really is. It's a gift.
Yeah.
It's like I told you before, there's lines of people, you know, who want to come back, who want to get in a body, who want to learn. It's rich. It's like so rich, the lessons that you learn on earth. You
Right.
cannot compare them with studying in a class over here. Might take several lifetimes to get to where you need to be. You can. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I know people that are like, I'm never going back, and that's fine. They don't have to. It's 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 all up to you. It really is. It's all how far and how fast do you want to go.
Okay.
And yeah, let me tell you, this is I don't want to brag, but this is a cool thing. This is like a special thing that I'm getting to do this. It's pretty cool.
That
It's
you
cool.
you you are allowed to talk to us about this?
Yeah, that I can go into someone else's body and use it. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. Very special.
yeah.
And I'm very grateful for Marty to allow you to do this. It's but I know you picked her and you brought her to this, so it's been fun. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the session, my son.
Okay.
But the next time we talk, if there's somebody that wants to join you or talk to us directly, we would be happy, whether it's a guide, an angel, a friend of yours. So in the meantime, talk and see who would like to join you. I think that would be very interesting. And then the next time, maybe we can talk a little bit more about soul families.
Okay.
Unless there's something else that you wanna talk about, I always will honor your wishes.
I just want to talk about love.
Okay.
Love. I guess I got a really strong feeling here. You know, I'm not the mushiest. It's hard for me to express that sometimes. Like, I mean,
You were
our
pretty good at that.
our souls are eternal,
Hmm.
and there's only one thing. And I'm being told to say this. I'm being reminded by the folks behind me back to say this that there is only love. That's one thing that you can create here on earth that transcends time, space, death. You know, that's why we're here on earth. That's why you guys are here on earth to learn how to love better, how to love more deeply, how to keep coming back to love, uh, even when you don't effing feel like it, how to just how to love, how to stay with it.
It's the one thing you can take with you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. Wow, this is really serious. Okay.
All right, my son. Well, I'm going to get my friend back here. We will talk again next week. I thank you. I love you. And we'll speak again real soon.
I love you all. I still love you all. That doesn't ever change. I'm
No,
here. I'm still here.
we still love you. And as Marty is coming back, it takes her a few minutes to come back and find her own body and her feet and feel her seat. And I want to remind you that at the end of this video, I will post our contact information. If you'd like a reading from Marty, her contact information will be there. And if you'd like to learn more about my work with orbs, find out information about how to purchase my book, Entering the Light Fantastic, and my website, it'll all be at the very end of this video. So as we wait for Marty to come back, I see her blinking her eyes. That was a pretty deep session. He touched on a lot of very interesting concepts. I'm going to have to go back and listen to this one a couple times. How you doing, Marty? She goes deeper and deeper each time we do this. She's more and more trusting. So it takes her a little bit longer to come back. But the more she goes in and trusts Robbie, the more Robbie's personality comes through. So it's kind of cute for me to watch.
I'm here.
It was a wonderful session. I was just telling the audience, we touched on some pretty deep subjects. So I'm going to have to watch this again, but it was another amazing time. Thank you again for your sacrifice and your work in this field. I told everybody we'd post your information at the end. So until next week, I wish you a wonderful and blessed life.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.